Hey, welcome. I am Richard from Radar Rich, back with another live stream on YouTube. Welcome. Thank you for watching now or perhaps later. Yeah, you hear me making some rambling noises, setting up some last minute items to allow for this stream to actually work. And yeah, like the description of this stream is probably telling you already, I purchased this nice Rack Brute 6U case from Arturia last year, filled it with all kinds of fun modules. And once they were all installed, working, and I did some experiments with it, I actually put a dust cover over it and didn't look back for a long time. So, yeah, it appeared that the magic of actually buying or selecting modules, buying them, and especially unboxing them and putting them in the rack was way more interesting for me back then than actually playing with the modules. So it's super weird. But hey, here we are. Let me dust off this stuff a bit. I'm kind of OCD about this. I usually I don't keep this rack stored in a horizontal position. I keep it vertically, so dust is only building up on the top of the rack, and then the modules are always covered with a cloth. So I will not allow all dust and other particles to enter all the connections, all the slots. I don't want any kind of that kind of stuff going on. So yeah, I had one patch set up, and the cables. These are the cables that prove that I was actually doing something, but I wanted to do a little from scratch again. I will often have to refer to some kind of manual on one of my displays on the computer. I can share my middle display when I want to show you what I'm doing in Ableton Live. And why am I using Ableton Live? Well, I can move myself and the microphone pretty handily to sit at my computer screen, and I use Ableton to kind of receive the audio coming from the modular rack, so that I can process it with effects. Just like I could on my voice, for example. Let me drop in a verb. I actually don't hear the reverb. So that's how great this works. Hello, 1, 2. Wait. Well, perhaps you hear it. I don't. Dropping in a reverb. Did I not drop it on this channel? No, I dropped it on. Oh, I dropped it on. No. Oh, I dropped it on the wrong channel. Lol. So that's how good I'm prepared, how well I'm prepared. So here we go. So I could drop it on my voice so that you can hear an actual reverb plugin in action. I don't have... Oh! Is it a crazy wabbit? Or is it just... It must be my imagination. No epic rabbit would ever enter this weird stream. So here you can hear me putting effects on my voice, which is completely not interesting. I'm also losing audio on my headphones. My imaginary donation. Donations are always welcome, of course. Hey, it's afternoon, or it's early morning out there in the States. And I have a problem because one of my ears go, because it's webbing. I'm gonna treat him to things he never asked for. So how this works, no one will ever know. This is not what you signed up at 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay, I get distracted easily. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Let me not do that. Don't quit your day job. I already have 15 years ago. I was quit. I did not quit on my own. I was quit. Okay. So I got this modular stuff connected. And you sometimes see my hand reaching this Stream Deck, which is totally unnecessary gear. But it's still handy for selecting what we will watch. Hey, boss! Louder for the people in the back. Oh my god. Do we have a loud plugin? Attention. All passengers heading to Barbados. I repeat, all passengers heading for Barbados will not head for Barbados as the plane is grounded infinitely. So you can just stick around this channel and enjoy. Okay, the cheese is real here. Okay, so I'm using this fancy thingy, but it's not super necessary, but it's handy. I can switch between my display, where I show Ableton Live for the effects, or my rack. So because Crazy Wabbit is here, this tennis ball is only there, and I put it there before the stream started in hopes of Crazy Wabbit entering the stream. Wabbit, this ball is yours. It will be here on this video forever. You can always refer back to this ball. Only tennis players will understand. So, okay. The thingy-majingy, which is also called my rack, is completely empty. It's all functioning. I even, that was fun. I like to just unscrew and screw these modules out and back in. It's super weird. It's part of the hobby that you have these all these separate elements that make up a big rig. Well, not a big rig. This is a small rig, but anyways, your rig. And even while it's on, it doesn't matter. You can just get one of the modules. And this particular one was fun because when I put back power on this rig, the Splarf button cannot be engaged without, this is donationware. So Splarf will not be engaged without a donation. So the rest is shareware. Splarf is donationware only. So this is the back of an ornamented crime module. This one is made by After Later Audio. I have a lot of their modules, including the Pixie and the Dice and Alan Morcom. Do I have more? No. Oh yeah, this Mult and the Sample and Hold modules are also from them. When I started buying these modules last year, I came across After Later Audio and I landed on their website for this module, Pixie, which is a 100% clone of the Mutable Instruments Plaits, which is a famous module. And I really liked the aesthetics of their work. And then it turned out they made other clones of Mutable Instruments. And so I got a few of those, and I really love the looks with the black and gold. So yeah, that's why I got a lot of their modules, and later I purchased a few others. So the beauty of these modules is when I came back after a year, there were of course updates for the firmware. You can flash the firmware on these modules yourself. So it has a micro USB connector here, and it has a reset button on the back. And if you press that and connect micro USB to your computer through a Teensy loader software, you can load new firmware on these modules, which I did on both of them. I'm running the Parasites firmware, which is a combination of a lot of good applets that are brought together. So the original Ornament and Crime module had applets which were cool, but then alternative firmware was created by the community, so to speak, and they add a lot of other applets, and it can now also run in dual mode. So you can do two things on these modules at the same time now, or play Pong on them, which is also fun. The singing part is up for debate. I think I think there's not a lot of debate necessary to agree that I should not sing. But hey, sometimes in some songs I need a singer, and yeah, nobody wants to do it for me, or I cannot afford a decent singer. So yeah, my Eurorack is bigger. That's to compensate for other issues. So yeah, the bigger the Eurorack, the smaller the tennis balls. Okay, wait, what? Yeah. So, anyways, this is the original Bleep Loop 2000. This is the Crazy Wabbit version. Yes, boss. You will be left in tears, and we will all know why. Like, I hope your balls are better than mine, Wabbit, because this one is deformed. But that's because I use them as a stress relief. And just like a dog would bite a few times in them, and it breaks internally, but the outer cloth is still okay. So, yeah, I need better balls. Yeah, I should retitle this stream already because it's not going to be at all about any Eurorack stuff. The deformed brain is the best brain. Anyways, thank you for being here. So, yeah, this is all blah gibberish. What I can do, I prepared a few cables, and I can put one in the output, the main output of Pixie, which is an oscillator which is always on, always making sound. If I at least go to Ableton Live, and we'll see if there is actually a signal on any of the inputs, and there actually is. I think it's input 3. I don't hear it yet, and I will lower the volume. Now we will get... This is what Pixie, that one module, is doing right now. Super annoying. Totally not interesting. Yep, new balls for Raider. Most wanted items. So Pixie is now the only thing connected to my audio interface. It has its own separate channel, so if I later connect a few others... Pixie needs coffee. Pixie needs... So this is just one thing that Pixie can do. When he sees a wild rabbit entering the stream, he will do... Okay. What was I doing? I don't know. So this is just Pixie on its own. But wait, there's more. Because it's now a dry Pixie. What if we add some serious effects? Like, well, of course, a fan favorite is Supermassive from Valhalla. Now things will happen. Putting a large reverb. Now, LFOs are the best things next to balls. If I now move, so this could be a drone. Let me see. I don't have many sound generating modules, which is a problem. So I sometimes grab the Pittsburgh modular Taiga, which is a semi-modular, and the Arturia Mini Brute 2S, which is another semi-modular. And they go together really well with this because they are semi-modular. I will show you the Taiga. Heavy stuff. So this Taiga, which will not be in focus, has all these connection points, the inputs and outputs, and they can pair up with the connectors of this rack. So by using semi-modular together with modular, with single modular modules, you can make a very interesting setup. But for now, it's just me, my reformed ball, deformed ball, and one Plaits. So instead of pushing the Plaits directly to the audio interface, we can make a tiny connection. I will put the main output of Pixie into this ripples, mutable instrument ripples, which is a filter module. Crazy internet friends are always the best. And then output the low pass filter. This is also fun. Listen. Morse code. War is coming. SOS. Oops. So now we put the voice, this one voice, through a filter. So we can filter out the higher frequencies and let only the lower go through. And distort it a bit. And now we can turn the resonance of the filter. I don't even know if these higher frequencies will go through YouTube. What this rabbit was saying. we need our good friends, the LFOs. Now, I'm pretty sure that Ornamented Crime has LFOs in it, but I'm totally not aware of how these work anymore. But I'm Logic. Let me see. There's an app, an LFO. That's interesting. Yeah, I know, right? I know, Bas. This is how they do it in your community. Every first Monday of the month at 12 o'clock. This is the exact copy of the Dutch government devices to sound that alarm. We nailed it. Okay, so here's an LFO. And there are probably options. Yeah, we can set the amount of the LFO. We can set the speed of the LFO. We can set the slope, the shape. See? It's small. Dick Schoof. Yeah, well, he's out of a job. And I mean, he worked for national security stuff as well. So he knows this stuff very well from his training in the military back then. This is basically what they use on submarines as well. So here's an LFO. We need the output of that LFO into something here. We need to do something about this, otherwise we will lose a Webbit as our as a subscriber. I'm doing it all for the. I mean, I'm chilling here. I'm chilling out. So the output of this LFO is probably on output A, but I don't know. I haven't read the manual. Let me see if I can put this into the voltage per octave of the Pixie. This will automatically try to change the frequency of the oscillator. So I do it by hand now. But I mean, Dick Schoof needs sometimes a weekend as well, so we want to automate this. It's definitely doing something. So this LFO is now probably the top one. Yeah, the top one. And the output B, maybe the lower shape. It is. So one LFO module, Appen LFO, in Ornamented Crime controls two outputs with different shapes. So we can change the shape. Wait, lost my ball. I want to put it here. So I can actually, with this attenuator, I can arrange that this LFO is being input positively a tiny bit. Or more. More. More! More! Or I could go into the negative. Now it goes so low that it's hard to hear. Now I use the ripples, the filter. More! So with this attenuator, I can set how much that LFO changes the frequency of the oscillator. Okay, so we got different shapes. And you see that the top shapes are having one peak only, but the lower shapes have different forms, which are perhaps more interesting. You can even use it rhythmically. Of course, we can also change the output level by an LFO as well. Not just the pitch, the frequency, but also the level, the number of voltage, of the amount of voltage that goes out. That cable is a bit short. I don't like cables that are so... Let me see, this one could work. So the upper LFO will be controlling the level of output. Or does it? Oh wait. No. I let it now control the timbre of the voice. Also cool. But I was actually looking to control the level. Let's see if we hear that. Yeah. You hear it? But you cannot change them independently. No. That's not fun. I want to change them independently. So now it only changes the pitch. I will lower the amount of reverb, so we can more directly hear what's going on. What I will actually also do is add a delay, so to make this more rhythmically interesting. Just a little bit of each. Okay, so we got some delay and reverb going on this particular voice. On this voice, sorry. Now, of course, we have multiple... we can run two applets in one ornamented crime module. So I can introduce another app and LFO. Or do I have something else? No, let's do another LFO. Just... Okay. So this can work separate, completely independently. This goes there, this goes there. Oh, one cable was gone. Okay, so we can get the, again, the lower LFO shape we can get from output D. Do you hear the difference? So this LFO now determines how loud the output is from the Pixie into the next module. Can set a different shape. We can change the speed in a moment. No, I will actually use the upper output, because the lower also goes into the minus, and there's not much use in having a minus volume because you won't hear anything. This could be an example. Also, they both have speeds. We can probably input a clock signal, which is interesting. Let me... Okay, they are now waiting for a clock signal from outside. And I happen to have Pamela's Pro workout here, which is, among other things, a clock. So if we want to have a speed of, let's say, 128, which is often used in trance and stuff, and have that, let me see, okay. Yeah, on channel 1, that speed of 128 beats per minute is being sent out at a times 1 modifier. So it will be exactly 128. So if I input that as the clock for ornamentic rhyme, I hope it will pick it up. See, I started the clock and it is actually running now, but only on the left part of the module. So it is currently outputting this LFO into the pitch input of Pixie, but because we are not getting a level input, it's at 0 volume. So that's not going to work. So let me try and grab another clock. Perhaps clock 5. What is it set to? 5 is set to 1.3. So the clock on output 5 goes 1.3 times as fast as the other clock. See, now they're both running. But you can, I don't know if you can see it. It's of course very tiny, but the clock on the right side of the module moves faster than on the left side of the module. But they are now both being triggered speed-wise by Pamela's Pro workout. And this is already, this is how modular is interesting, because modules can interact with each other in interesting ways, or so they say. So if I now change the overall clock speed of Pamela's Pro workout, both LFOs will move slower, but you will still see every time this left one does 1 run, the other has 1.3 runs. It goes faster. And we can, of course, change that to other values. So I now have the right side running 8 times as fast as the left side, meaning our volume changes are being sent to Pixie 8 times more than our pitch changes. We can also go the other way around. So now it will take a long time before this LFO shape goes up, and only when it's going up, there will be some kind of level coming from the Pixie. And that first part of the LFO shape, which is just at a 0 crossing, we will get no output from this module. And we can make it so fast that it's not, we cannot even hear the effect anymore. Okay, thanks a lot, boss. And yeah, you go study. This was all unprepared. I hope you prepare better for your classes than I do, because else you will end up where I ended up. And I mean, I'm now just a substitute Dikschoof at the governmental alarm system. So there's no joy for a career and a life. So go build something better for yourself. See you later. Okay, so this leads to I don't know what. But we have something going. I did not plan this. And it's probably not gonna end up. Okay. Well, you are, at least you are you have some travel time that you might be able to prepare in, and others won't do anything at all. So you will always stand head and shoulders above the crowd. No worries. Okay, so we have something going and it's completely useless and it's fine. So what else can I do? Because, well, I also have the Express Sleep Disting EX and the Express Sleep Disting Mark IV. These are multi-function modules that can do anything except make coffee for me. So I have to run out in a moment and grab some coffee downstairs. They can also be used as an oscillator. Hey Maltas, goedemiddag. Leuk dat je even komt kijken. As I already said, I don't have a lot of oscillators or noise-generating modules in my rack. The most oscillators I have are in my semi-modular machines, so the Taiga and Mini Brute 2S. I should probably fix that sometime, but not before I know that I actually want to continue with this. I could use coffee, but I also could use a bio break. They often go hand in hand. So I have... let me see. It's very hard for me to actually see the screen on the Distings. Almost impossible, you could say, but I have this one set to a VCO, like a voltage-controlled oscillator, so it is supposed to make sound. I can try and just patch the output. This one too, I think. I'm not really sure what it's set to. I could patch this. No, I could just grab another cable to my mixer. This is input 6. Let me go back to the computer. Have I been streaming? Half an hour. Mostly talking about tennis balls. So you didn't miss much. So we'll do another audio channel. And this one gets audio from input 6 and it's also too loud. See, it's clipping. That's what you see here in the red area. So I can fix that, I think, by going into the mixer and go to channel 6. What's my channel 6? It's not that. Input 6. Wait, let's look at the meters. Oh, analog input 6. All right. Hey, that's interesting. I also use 6 from the USB. I have to route output 6 somewhere. Let me stop Pamela for a moment. Do you actually... Am I the only one who hears input 6? Yeah, oh, I have... No, you hear it as well. Okay. I will keep it really low for now, as to not annoy you too much. Let me save my live set for a moment. Okay, so here's my mixer and I want to look at the ins and outs. The analog input 6, I want to have that come in on channel 8, perhaps. Off. Channel 6. Off. Wait. Does that work? 8. Does it work? 8. AD. Yes. That's interesting. I hear it twice now. So it's coming in at channel 8 on the mixer now. I can trim this by minus 6 dB because otherwise it will be clipping. Yeah, and then I can get it from channel 8 here. Okay, it now works, but it's no longer clipping. So, yeah, I had to... Why is there suddenly effects? Oh, my microphone comes in here as well now. That is not supposed to happen. External input 8. Why is my microphone coming in? Analog input 1. Put it on channel 8. 1, 1, 1, 1. A ducking group. I don't know what. So, hey, GG Blaps. Loopback. I do have loopback. Oh, yep. Loopback. I have a loopback to channel 7 and 8. So I cannot have channel... Yeah, you're right. I have to find a free channel. This cannot be done like this. 7 and 8 are indeed... Hello? Wait, what? Channel 7? Input channel 7. Analog inputs 7, 8. Wait. Let me first get rid of this. Okay. Is my module still coming in? It is. It is. It's almost like listening to Eve of the War of the Worlds. The machines from Mars just landed. But that doesn't fix the actual issue. Does my modular audio at least duck when I'm talking? So does the volume of the modular go down when I'm talking to you? It should do just that. So that's still working. I have an audio... What? That was interesting too. So this cable from Disting EX, which outputs in an oscillator signal, sound, goes into input 6 on my mixer. Input 6 on the mixer. And you can see that here, the analog input is hot. And I want to route this. Why can't I just route it to external in 6? Actually, I can. Did I now? Does it now? Oh, I just can. Oh. Apparently. Channel 6. How can I get... I've never done this in my mixer software before. I want to reach to this analog channel 6 but I have bound audio from USB. So coming from my PC, I'm routing that over USB to channel 6. So I would like to now know how I can get to channel 6 in this setup software. That's interesting. That is interesting. Can I see more? I wonder if I can see more. In, out. Analog input 6. So to make it visible on let's see. So channel 6 is having analog input from the EX. If I pull the plug, it disappears. Okay. USB returns. Sense. That is interesting. So I thought I was really well prepared for this, but I'm not. Analog input 6. I could push it probably to channel 2, like this, on the mixer. So this should now be, no, it doesn't. Unless I say here, no, it doesn't. Hello? No. Well, that's another stream going down the drain, I guess. This analog input 6, I want to route it to a channel on my mixing board, so to speak. And that doesn't seem to work like that. If I turn off everything now, I will break the stream as well. This is not really helpful for you as the viewer and the enthusiast for Eurorack modular, because this doesn't help. I have different channels, of course, so I can grab a different cable. I'm grabbing channel 4 now, which you can see here. The Disting EX now comes in on channel 4, and I can now listen to it on channel 4. This can go here. So if I now listen in Ableton to channel 4, it will be there. So, but channel 6 is, I made a problem for myself by assigning some audio coming from my PC. Channel 5.6 is my desktop audio in Windows. So I'm making a problem for myself in that regard. But channel 4 is free. So we have Plaits, which will start doing stuff. This will come in on channel 3. So let's rename this Plaits. And this is Disting Mark IV. Okay, so we got 2 incoming. It's of course not very interesting. And a pretty hot signal, but I can arrange for that to be channel 3 has minus 6 dB, channel 4 as well, but the EX is just hot. That's fine. It's not clipping. It's fine. Okay. Let me see if I can now go back. And I really need to pee and I really need coffee. So I'm getting into multiple problems at the same time here. I blame the tennis ball. So this is now a constant output from Disting EX. But I want to have it output notes, for example, or whatever. Anything but this. I could output the Euclidean sequencer here. Yep. That can work. Okay, let me put an effect on that. The mess that's called Eurorack. Oh, there's already effects on. But you don't hear them because nothing is really actually actively playing. Okay. Got a big ass reverb on that channel. Let's go back here. All right, that's something. So this module, it can output, of course, one signal to Disting for pitch information, but that's not interesting. Once I feed a clock into Alan, poor Alan, I will stuff a clock inside of you. Yeah, I can grab a clock from Pam's. I still need a hanger for my cables. Do you know the problem? So I will use output 2. What is output 2? Is a one time, and what's our original tempo? 60 right now. So we use a clock of 60 beats per minute. Now Alan starts running. Of course, it doesn't correspond at all to what Pixie is now playing, because it is changing pitch according to an LFO, and this LFO output is not quantized into anything. So these two oscillators now don't work together well to make it sound musical. Let's see if we can fix that. I don't know, but we can try. The other ornamented crime I still have set up to... Oh no, I set it up to a tuner and a dual quantizer. Okay, let's use a quantizer. So if we get a note output from Alan, instead of pushing it directly into Disting EX, I'm going to shove it into this quantizer, which is set to D Aeolian, which is not something you can eat. Oh, and by the way, I wish I could perform live anything musical, but it's obvious that I'm not nearly far enough in my development to ever do that, but it's something I will work on. So now I'm going to output a quantized signal, I hope, from Ornamented Crime into the pitch input of the Disting EX. Sounds kind of musical. But not very useful, but it would be nice if we would quantize the pitch that goes into Pixie Plaits as well, because it now just gets a changing pitch from an LFO, but not within a scale. Let's see if we can set it up. I know this does dual quantizing, so, but let me see. I'm gonna do another quantizer just for now because I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm gonna set it to Aeolian D as well. On both sides. Should help. Hey, Dr. Cynthio! I am streaming. Good morning, Luke. Morning for you out there on the other side of the pond, the big pond. Hello, I'm Richard. And I'm your guide into Eurorack madness. The crack has gotten me. So did the tennis ball. This is, if I squeeze the ball, this is a trick I learned from Crazy Wabbit. Squeeze the ball for LFO. I should find an actual module that I can fit inside here. Like, I think there's a hole somewhere. Yeah, okay, we got this. So this will be our main LFO. This is the crazy ball, the Crazy Wabbit ball. Low end bounce. Okay, so this is all really weird, not quantized at all, and also the tennis ball is not plugged into anything. Let me plug that into the offset of the Exxon 2 so that we can listen carefully. I will only say this once. Okay, so tennis ball into Exxon, into Pamela, through the back. Who knows what it will do. So the output of the pitch information that goes into Plaits comes from this lower LFO on the ornamented crime. So, okay. Are you guys still with me? Because I'm not. I want to have this into a quantizer. So I'm gonna put it into this slot. I mean, I'm just like Cameron Diaz. I signed a waiver. You can shove anything into these slots. Ping pong balls, Psycho Hero. Yeah, I need more balls. Famous last quote. So I'm putting in the output of an LFO into a quantizer, and you can see that it's trying really hard here to output the information into a quantized D Aeolian scale note. So this pitch goes into Plaits now. And it sounds exactly the same as it did before. This is awesome. This is totally expected behavior. Zadar is fantastic. We all have to thank Jeff Hopkins for this one. I think I will have to trigger the quantizer when it, because it's now constantly updating to pitches inside of the scale, but not in a rhythmical way. So we need to shove PAM, one slot of PAM, we need to shove it into a different slot. And I'm gonna pick output 8. Why? Because it's blinking so furiously. It changes. What does slot 8 do? Oh, it's set to 4 times the speed of the rest of our song. Let's slow it down. There's very little variation in I don't actually like the voice of the Disting, but don't let Andy hear any of this. I think I will actually make the changes in this Euclidean thingy. I will make those slower, because it's now on the beat, but I don't want it. I want to make it slower. I think. So what you hear the Pixie do is controlled only by LFOs. There's an LFO going into the output level of the module and into the pitch. We can do more. Let me see if I can filter this a bit inside of Ableton. Because those higher harmonics are kind of tiring to me. And also the Plaits is not tuned correctly, because even though they're playing notes in the same scale, they are clearly not matching up. Let's see if we can set a different shape here. Yeah, this is more. This can be fun with extra delay. 16th delay on the Plaits. Okay, will do. Another ping pong, perhaps. Not a fan. Let me. Weird stuff going on. Is it the diffusion? Oh, it's part of the shape of the envelope, I think, of the. Wait. Not really sure where the high pitch in the end comes from. Oh, it also does this. Okay, I will look that up in a moment. The standard one. Oh, here's my tennis ball. Oh, I lost my connection with the tennis ball. That's the reason. Oh, wrong input. I need a potato too. So there's this. Even if I set the pitch variation to 0, there's this higher. It's probably the resonance. Ah, it is. It was the resonance on the filter. Hey, so weird. The moody sound comes from the tennis ball. The rest is just to impress you. So Ripples has this very nice self-singing oscillator or a filter. Ooh. I don't know where the super high pitch comes from. Even more fuzzy. Well, thank you. Perhaps like this. Okay. Doc. Okay. Thanks, Cynthia. Hug the dog for me. And thank you so much. And I mean, this was really impromptu. Very little preparation. Lots of problems. Just the way we like it. Okay. So no dual delay from UVI. We go all old school. Let's turn off Valhalla for us. This is the pure signal coming from Plaits, or yeah, Pixie, Plaits. And delay, Ableton delay. Vintage delay. Clean delay. 8th, dotted 8th, quarter note, 16th. It's of course interesting that I do not follow currently the speed of Pamela's new workout, which is the clock in the modular rack. So I'm gonna set it. It's double. It was 120, now it's 60. So it rhythmically it stays the same, but less fast. This is not in tune with each other. Ouch. If you give me a tiny moment, please, so I can do my little, so I can let myself out for a moment. I need a really tiny bio break and a glass of water, and I'll be back. Thank you. And really, really appreciate your presence here, guys. Superb. Okay, I guess the the audio didn't fix itself while I was peeing. I don't like how these oscillators are not in tune with each other, so I'm gonna fix that. And I'm gonna... I could fix it in the box, I guess. I could fix it in the box or in... There is a tuner in... There is a tuner inside these modules. Oh, and by the way, the image of that you see of my rack is not 100% superb. I have two cameras, identical. One is sharper than the other, and I think it's due to the fact that this camera is connected through a 5-meter long HDMI cable. It seems to be shielded very well and so on, but I think 5 meters is just too much to pick up distortion in the room. Tuning for the win. I know how we all love tuning. That's the whole reason we use analog, because it will stop us every time we want to do something useful. Okay, now I don't know how this is this actually going to pick up anything? Clock information, will it try to tune that? No. Okay, anyway, let me remove the outputs towards the mixer. So this is a mixer input, a mixer input. So let us go silent for a moment. Tuner, how does it work in Ornament and Crime? Good question. I'm gonna just pull these plugs. It's not completely working out as I wanted anyways. The tennis ball into Axon must stay, but I did hear that it works better when you use a green cable. Like the purple cable is for audio and the green cable is for CV. This is all facts. And it also works better if you shove the tennis ball firmly within the knobs of the Bleep Loop 2000. This is all based on science, but I can't back it up completely with graphs right now, but there will be a video with the science around the tennis ball. That being said, so I want to have just the output of some oscillation source, which could be the Disting. So the audio coming out, I want to have that in the, I think, CV input. Here, doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything, does it? Okay. Do I need to trigger it? Not sure. Not sure if I do. I can trigger it with a clock. I doubt it. It's probably not the reason why it's not working. No, I have to actually... Oh, no, Chris. Game over it is. I stream once a year. I mean, could you please have a little respect for that? Let's tune in the box, shall we? So, but hey, man, thanks for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. Hey, let's see. But it's true, the radar is live. Isn't that special? So I'm gonna grab the output of Plaits. You have to trust me on this one. It's definitely working. It's still getting fed an LFO for its output level. That's okay. That's okay. We don't even need to listen to it, but I want to be able to tune it. I think I have a Melda Productions tuner which should work. Hello. Okay. This is the input power, so to speak, and without any whoa. Okay. We could listen to it, but it's super hard to tune these thingies. Because they have really small dials and are pretty much impossible to do correctly. So I said, I think I will go to a classic waveform, like a saw, sync saw. put it in noon. And see if we can get a C4. I'm making micro movements now. And you can never get it right. Which is actually, you should go watch Synth Seeker. He has a wonderful channel. And he does analog oscillators only. I mean, I know no other man on the planet who loves tuning as much as he does. But let's assume this is a C4. Now I will push the same cable into the output of the Disting EX. Wow, that's laser sharp. That's probably... We're probably talking about a digital oscillator now, because the Disting EX is a multifunctional module. So, fine tune. Let's see. This can be fine tuned. This is fantastic. Look. This can be so nicely tuned. And this is, I don't get it why SynthSeeker, why Luke, why are you so fond on analog oscillators? Look at this, I can fine tune this Disting EX. I mean, okay, so this is now tuned. The Plaits is now kind of tuned as well, but will never be fully in tune. I could tune it to C3 as well, by the way. Well, I can't, but I can try to approximate it. It's like a whale, like a sick whale. A whale who had too much plankton last night. That's close, close enough. This is as close as you will get with any analog stuff. I'm digging it. Yeah. So these two oscillators should now play nicely together. Play nice. No, nicely. Whatever. They should play. Oh, they are so close now. Oof, 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 oof. It's almost. Oh, baby. Yes. Yes, we got it. We got it. Okay. So they, it's very dangerous because if I am even pushing the tennis ball, I could touch the frequency knob of the Plaits, and we will have to do all of this again. So you have to be super careful. But. So I can now again grab the. No, this is fine actually. I could have the Disting EX go through the filter because that sounds a bit too harsh, and I can filter it a bit. So I'll grab the output, shove it into the filter, into an available slot, and now I can have a nice resonance singing on top of the EX. No, no resonance. Can overdrive it a bit. Ripples is a nice filter. It's one of the modules I got secondhand. Most of them are, were brand new. Yeah, most of them were brand new. Some of them not so much. The Hermod I got for free actually, but I paid. I think it was Dr. Cynthia. I have to... What if I remember it incorrectly? Anyways, I got it for free. And I paid him anyways. It was not the full value of what I got from him, but I wanted to give him at least something so that he could go on and buy some new Eurorack as well. Okay, these two sound sources now sound in tune. Whew. Okay, now I could go back and now I could go back into what? Oh, there's a clock going. Oops, do not disconnect the tennis ball or it will all break down. The clock signal from channel 2. Yeah. Put it on. Yeah, so there's a 60 BPM going into Alan. Alan will do his randomized stuff with it and shove it back into... I could shove it back into the voltage per octave of the Plaits. Which is now no longer quantized. So, we got something going. Why is... Oh yeah, the Disting doesn't get any pitch information anymore. So this will now just drone and I get annoyed by it. Let's filter it for a moment. Okay, so it's only faint in the background. The level is still being controlled by... Let's not do that actually. Level is now 100% all the time. Okay, we have something going on. A sequence coming from our Euclidean sequencer. Let's try to quantize that again. So we get the output from Alan going into our wrong module, into our CV input of the quantizer, and get the output from the quantizer, which is now quantized to the D-Aeolian scale. Much better. Nice. Okay, what if we want to change the timbre of the melody by an LFO? Because we've got LFOs to spare. Going into the timbre. Let's see, we got output A, which is the top graph of our LFO. And this works at the same rate as the changes of the notes right now. Good donuts. That would require me to engage the Splarf mode, which I'm not allowed without a donation. Splarf up is donationware only, but that would get into offensive territory. So, yeah, I don't know. Have to think about that. So we can speed up or slow down the LFO that changes the timbre of the sound, which is connected to output 1 of Pamela. This output is currently running at ×1, so it's following the main beat, which is 60 per minute. But we can make this go faster. See, it's going much faster now. This is controlled by channel 1 on Pam. Yes, you have my number. So we are now sending a speed of 480 BPM, which is more into Weber territory, to this left part of Ornamental Crime. It's running the other LFO just simply at 60 BPM, but this one has the need for speed. And this gets a bit into War of the World sounds again. I finally start to realize how they made those monsters cry and scream. Ooh la. We can also make it go much slower. Watch it. There it goes. Now I'd rather pick the output from the second LFO, because that always goes back to... It connects the beginning and the end. Oh, the other one does too. I'm crazy. But let's try it. Now we use the lower shape of the LFO. Tom Cruise did indeed play, but I'm more referring to the radio play that was aired like in the... I don't know when America was in panic, because they thought the invasion was real, the invasion from Mars. So this lower LFO shape now determines the timbre. And because it also is bidirectional, it goes down below 0 as well, I should actually set the timbre in the middle position so it can go left and right for positive and negative. Or I can set this LFO to go only omnidirectional. So there is a setting for that. Okay, so the upper one, A, goes unidirectional, B goes bidirectional. I can set that to something else. No, that's not what I want. Yeah, unidirectional. Can I have them both uni? I don't think yeah, both are now unidirectional. Oh, but that removes the different shapes that they can have. So I will keep it bidirectional then and set this timbre to the middle position. And it can now move left and right. Holiday correspondence, and you're making me feel very peaceful. Well, thank you very much, Shinthikar. I could read a nice book for you without the modular scrap, because I'm sure that will get on your nerves pretty soon. It does on mine. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We can also put an LFO on the harmonics and on the thingamajiggy here. And meanwhile, we have this Disting EX play just a single sound in the background. I don't put input note or pitch information here. So this could go much faster. Actually, kind of okay where we landed so far. It's a bit of a bagpipe sound. It's not my favorite, but I don't know, it somehow works. Let me see if a different scale is cool. D sharp minor. Make it a bit happier. So we have these LFOs, but we do have other things as well. We have Sadar. And Sadar generates envelopes, which can also be used as LFOs. So if we... running out of cables, just kidding. Just a sec. Let's see if I can apply a bit more effect. Perhaps I can keep this drone running. Should probably change the filter using an LFO as well. But a bit more of effect to make it drown in itself, more or less. This is a flanger. I could put a massive reverb over that. Okay. Perhaps modulate. Perhaps modulate. There's also LFOs in I could apply an LFO inside of Ableton and map it to the panning of this. Yeah. So this panning has nothing to do with the Eurorack now. It's just a device. So I don't know if you use Ableton Live Rabbit, but if you want infinite LFOs, you got them right there. And I will slowly pan this channel, or perhaps do it before the actual reverb, so that the reverb can balance it out a bit, but there's a bias towards left or right for this sound. So if you notice this here, this is the panning knob, and it will now move by itself. Yeah, Ableton can be very unstable indeed. We need a game-changing fix for that. I do agree. Okay, back to the rack. We can change the, let's say, the harmonics. No, rather change the smooth thing within. The morph, I forgot its term, but the morph has its own input as well. And I can, if it's long enough, I don't like cables to be like super tight. I don't want to break the internals of the modules. So we can use the shapes of Sadar, and I can pick this one, the output D, so that the cable has enough length. Go to channel D. So we could trigger this knob, like the placement of this knob can now be controlled with voltage from Zadar, but Zadar needs to get a trigger to actually do this at given times. I'm going to use the purple cable, which I no longer need for the tennis ball. Oh, Luke or anyone else, can you confirm that the modular sound is actually ducking when I'm talking? I'm using output 3 from PAMS, Pamela's Pro Workout, which is only used as a clock right now. It can do more. I think it can even do LFOs, but God forbid more LFOs. And I'm gonna trigger channel D of Zadar with one of the outputs. Okay, thank you very much, Luke. So here you see a line moving sometimes. Oh, only once in 9 times. I'm gonna make this go faster so that you can actually follow along visually. So this Zadar is now being triggered by a 4 times tempo of the song. So 240 beats per minute is being bashed into Zadar on channel D, and it tries to output this value or this envelope going from 0 to up and then down, but it goes so fast. So I'm going to slow down this channel on PAMS to divide it by 4, so every 4 of the 60 beats per minute, sorry, it will output, so 15 times per minute it will output a signal on this cable going into the this one, and then I will actually turn this to the plus side, so clockwise, so that it has a positive effect on the position of the morph. You can slightly hear it. If I speed it up, it's hard to hear. Maybe on this sound it doesn't do much. Let's switch to a wave shape. No. I'm not impressed. It does do something. Let's speed it up so I can see it often happening. So it's basically the same kind of shape you see here in Ableton LFO. But this is applied to the morph character of the sound. It's almost got a speech quality now. Yeah, it's almost like the vowel part of the oscillator. Strangely enough, we slowly start to work towards something that's actually not too bad, if I'm honest. And this was completely unplanned. I just had these modules in front of me, no cable connected, just a tennis ball and a man. And then, let's say, yeah, almost 2 hours later, we have this. It's not very productive, but it leads into territory that was perhaps not visited before, at least not by me. Now, I would love to include another oscillator. I have another Disting EX, Disting Mark IV. So let me at least, well, I need to find out which algorithm I need to load. We'll find out quickly enough. So I'm gonna put the output of this Disting Mark IV into my mixer channel 13. Oh, yeah, I would always play with my balls for you. The pleasure is all mine. So let's see if we include in this group another audio track. Oh no, I want to have it as part of the group. Can I do that? I can do that. And this should become Disting. Oh, wait. This is now Disting EX. And this should become Disting Mark IV. I cannot really be sure that's ducking, actually. I don't think it is. Sidechain compressor is not... Wait, sidechain from microphone? Oh, it is. No, it is not. Wait, what's this line? Hello? This is the threshold, right? Yeah. I don't see it happening. Do I? Hello? Do I? Sidechain? I'm not sure. Should I set up a ratio to actually... Oh. Yeah, now it's actually ducking. Ducking forward. I had the ducking set to 1 to 1, so it didn't duck. What did duck? It now ducks, but it has to release very much slower. It can react immediately. And then when I stop talking, which is almost never, the modular slowly returns to its normal output. Okay, made a mistake. Fixed it almost. Also renamed this into Disting and not Disting. It's like Spdiff. Gotcha. Okay, Disting Mark IV should come in on channel 13-ish. Yeah, and it's highly hot. So it's too hot. Let me see. How do we fix a channel being too hot? You can see it come in here. Analog input 13 is hot. It's clipping. So let's go to 13 and make sure that we put a minus 60 dB at least in as gain. So negative gain meaning we get lower input. This removes the clipping and makes sure that we can now include Disting Mark IV into the chain, which is not in tune at all, of course. But at least it is set, I think, to a... It is set to something. Okay, back to the deck. So algorithm B8. Ooh! This digital control. This is trickery. Is it magic? Okay, let me tune that, shall we? Now I get to realize firsthand, I get to experience why Andy likes his Distings so much. They are a pain in the butt to work with, but at least they stay in tune. Okay, let me wiggle. I'm a mod wiggler. How about that? Look, Mom, no hands. Oh, wait. Oh, there's not a lot of wiggle. But it's really precise. Really almost precise. It's kind of precise. I mean, it wiggles a bit. It can't make up its mind, but it's good enough. So now we have another oscillator. Can I do something with that? Because it's now just being output straight into the mixer. Let's... Okay, I have something. No, well, maybe Okay, so do not let this go out straight into the mixer, into Ableton, but get this signal, this audio, and shove it into Fax, which is a 4-channel thingy-majingy, and then get the signal out of Fax into that. Now I can change the volume with this wiggle majingle, but of course I don't want to do this manually. I can also do this logarithmic or exponential, which is a big difference, but I'm not capable of explaining that. But now we can do the fading of this using Zadar as well. Because if I go to channel A, for example, take the output of channel A and use that as the input of that fader, then it does nothing. You hear nothing, which makes sense because Zadar is not being triggered on channel A. There is a waveform that it wants to output on this output, but it's not being triggered. So, do I use... Question is, do I use PAMs again, or do I take, because there's also, okay, this is a bit of a weird cable. It's for stacking, so you can shove it somewhere and then shove another cable in there and stack some cables. It's not everyone's favorite, but sometimes it's handy and it has the correct length that I need right now. I can take the pulse output from this Euclidean sequencer, which will only fire when there's actually a note being output. So if I use that as the trigger of Zadar, it will sometimes trigger. I also have this expansion module for Morcom, for Alan, which is called Morcom. And this will, these are like random values that will go on and off. You can randomize it and change the length of the sequences being made with that. And here I can change the scale. So the higher I turn that, the higher or the more spread in note values we get from this sequencer. But for every combination of lights, there is a separate output on Morcom. So I can say that only if note 1 or light 1 lights up, I can grab that as an output, as a trigger for Zadar in this case. So it will output only when that light turns on, which is almost never, but anyway. So we now control the level with this trigger. And we can change the shape. I highly doubt we will hear that. Not really. I better use PAMs for now because it triggers more often. It's easier to test. You can also put in how long it takes for this entire graph to be output. You got rhythmic output. Making clicky noises. Okay, let's put that back into Morcom. Doesn't sound really interesting, but that's because of this thingy. Because this Disting Mark IV gets no note information. It's just playing a C3. We should be able to give it something more interesting. I could, for example, output an LFO as the pitch information. Whoa, that's high. And this triggers on PAM's output 5, which is not so often. Let me do that more often. Okay, this is really not so great because the pitch is changing too much. Let me see if I can kind of set this one up. Slope, shape, fold, one shot, fold. I cannot output the amount, I think. Or can I? Yeah. Laser pews are fun, but... Ooh, folding them a bit into a shape that's more pleasant to the ears for me. I can set it to one shot. Nah. I don't like the high pitch. Let me see if I can set something on the Disting. Set. Okay, now I changed the tuning. Getting into a very unknown territory now. Not great, not great. Don't know if I want to do something with this. Thanks a lot, Luke. I think I'm getting tired of my own rambling and the noise that I'm currently making. Adding the third oscillator is not successful so far. It's interesting, but not... But yeah, thanks a lot for sticking around. It was really cool having you. Thanks a lot, and thanks for your very fine cork pie video with the subsequent 37. Fantastic, fantastic horn sound you had there. So, see you later. See you later, Luke. Okay, perhaps throw some kind of effect on this. Get the high frequencies out. completely useless sound in the context of what I was making. But I'm not saying it's completely useless as a learning thing. I'm pretty sure there are use cases. I don't think so. That's pretty cool. But not for what we do today. No, I'm not going to trigger that anymore. We done what we done. And it's good. I would say, let's wrap it up. 2 hours and 8 minutes, of which probably 15 minutes were spent troubleshooting the mixer inputs. I've had worse days. So I want to thank Crazy Wabbit, Boss, Maltas, GG Blabs, Dr. Cynthio, Synthseeker, Psycho Hero, Soul Weird, Chris. That's it. For your attention, for encouraging me to keep pushing the boundaries of what a tennis ball can do in music. Thank you very much. This was just like a first time playing with the toys again. I purchased most of these modules in January this year, I think, or was it last year? Perhaps it was last year. I've been out of the music scene for quite a while. I don't even remember. I'm of course glad to be back. And perhaps I can someday make something musical with Eurorack. And that would be awesome. For now, I could of course do one more thing, and that is to add, okay, so first save my project. Let me see if I can add one more sound for you. I think I can. What I'm doing now is adding one falcon sound. Next time, by the way, Crazy Rabbit, you will enjoy it. I'm gonna connect the Oxy One Mark One to my Eurorack modules and use those to get some proper sequences out. See if I have a better drone for you. And it will be the OG Oxy One, not the Mark II, not the fancy black one. It will be the silver Oxy One Mark I, which offers 4 sequencers with CV and gate outputs, plenty for the few noise-making modules I have in my rack. I wish you all the best and hope to be here again soon. Now that I have some things tested and set up, the next stream will be, well, I'm not going to say less chaotic, but less error prone and perhaps more to the point. Keep those balls safe. And keep on